Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you for showing up again for another video. Today I have for you guys a blush comparison review. So this is like part 2 to my previous video where I talked about the Sephora Spice Market palette. And so at the end of the video I did mention that there are a couple other blush palettes that I thought were kind of comparable that I wanted to share with you guys. And so those are the two Juvia's Place Saharan blush palettes. So I have those here with me, and I'm going to just do a comparison for you guys. And right now I only have on my foundation and my concealer. I don't have on any blush or contour or bronzer or anything like that. So we're going to go through that together. All right, so if you're interested in seeing this, then stay tuned. So just quickly go over the Sephora palettes. We've got this matte shade here, and then these are all luminous, like I guess highlight type colors. So they all have like a glow to them. Let me say that. They all have a glow to them. So we've just got the one matte shade, and then the rest have a glow. So we've got these two that would be more highlight shades, and then we've got the ones with more color that you could use as a luminous blush. And so that's what I use those for, and then sometimes I use them as a highlight, that type of a thing. So that is the Sephora palette in a nutshell. And like I said, if you want more details, then definitely check out that other video. And then we've got the Saharan Volume 1 palette from Juvia's Place. And so this is what this is looking like. And so as you can see, these are much richer tones. We've got 4 matte shades in this palette, and then 2 that have shimmer. And so these are obviously highlight shades. And so these would be highlights for a woman of my skin tone or deeper, I would think. These are very rich golden shades. And what I like about these palettes is that they have names at the bottom of each shade, so that you can, you know, for people that do YouTube videos, or if you're putting up Instagram pictures, you can really tell people exactly what shade you're using. The Sephora palette does not have it doesn't have any names for the shades. All right, and then the Saharan Blush Volume 2 palette. So this is a lighter version of the Saharan Volume 1. Okay, so we've got the Saharan Volume 1, which I think is really nice deep rich tones, and then the Saharan Volume 2, which has the lighter tones in here. So again, with this Saharan Volume 2, you have the 2 shimmery, you know, luminescent shades, and then the 4 matte shades. All right, so what I really liked about the Sephora palette, what really drew me in to picking up the Sephora palette, was the fact that it has a bronzer that shows up on women of color. Okay, women of a deeper skin tone, and that one is this shade here, and you can see from all the residue around it that I really like this color. It shows up very nicely on the skin. So if you are of my skin tone, or a little lighter, maybe a little deeper, then you'll be able to use this as a bronzer. And if you are really into makeup, then you will know how challenging it is to find a bronzer that shows up on our skin tone. Okay, so that's what I really liked about this, a nice matte bronzer that really shows up. And so if you're somebody who is looking for an affordable bronzer, and the reason I say this is affordable, I know it's from Sephora, but if you take the price of this, which I think is $21, I'll put that, definitely clarify that in the one of these corners of this video. But if you divide that by 6, then it really comes out to what, like $4 each, less than $4 for each shade in this palette. So if you look at it that way, it can be considered an affordable palette, because you're getting 6 shades in one palette. Okay, so this bronzer is really nice. And so this is the one palette that has, out of the 3, that has a bronzer that I can use, so, or a shade that I would consider a bronzer. So I'm going to go on ahead and apply that on my face right now. And so I just take, this is the wrong brush. I take like, this is a little stippling brush. This is from BH Cosmetics, the number 5 brush. It has, it's a duo fiber brush, but I find that it diffuses the color nicely on my skin. So I'm just going to tap that in. And I also did this in the other video as well, but just want to show you guys. And none of these palettes have a mirror, so I'm going to grab a mirror and just apply that on the skin. And so it doesn't deposit too much color that it's like scary to use, but it shows up really nicely and provides a nice warmth to the skin. So I'm going to go on the other side because I don't have a bronzer in the other palettes. But I will do a comparison of the different shades on my different cheeks. And depending on how intense you want it, you know, it builds up very nicely. And Saharan Flush Volume 1. This is the first one I got from Juvia's Place. So I really like this because the colors are so rich that they show up on, you know, my skin, and that they're so pigmented that you don't need a lot. So this is a palette that I use a special brush with so that I don't get too much pigment on my face. And so I use this brush here. It is by Wayne Goss. It is, I think it was his 2018 holiday brush, and you can get these on Beautylish. But this is a very loosely packed bristle brush. So as you can see, like just me shaking it, you can see how loose these bristles are. It's really hard to mistakenly apply too much product with this, as opposed to this blush brush that I usually use. This is a Morphe E3 brush that you can see how densely packed these bristles are, and so it's much easier to pick up a lot of product with this versus this. And so for this Saharan Volume 2 palette, I do use this brush for these shades because they're so bright and so pigmented, it's easy to go overboard. And I got the idea from Manisha Clark. She has a channel here on YouTube, and she mentioned how she uses this shade for contour. So I was like, okay, that's really cool. Okay, so it's not a brown shade, it's like a deep rich burgundy. So if you have a deeper skin tone like myself or deeper, I would not suggest this for somebody who is a little lighter because it may be too harsh. But I use this shade. This is Abby, A-B-Y, I think it's Abby or A-B, to define the cheekbones. So I'm going to use a fan brush, and you can see this is my contour brush. It's all gnarly looking. It's really fluffy and stuff, but it diffuses the color very nicely. So I just tap in once, okay, twice, kick off any excess because this is a deep shade and you don't want to go too hard with it. And then I just put that, place that on the areas that I want to carve out and provide a little bit more depth. So this is if you are a contoured person. Some people just want to do bronzer, and that's fine. But sometimes if it's like a special occasion, you might want to do more of a contour, make it look like you lost about 10 pounds in the face, okay? So, and then I place the product, and you see I did not go back into the palette because it's so pigmented. And then just blend up into that bronzer, and you see how it like snatched my cheekbone areas. Like, girl, you've been losing weight, you've been on that keto thing. Okay, so just brush it up and into the hairline. Okay, so you can see how, so you guys can see how the two palettes are, you know, very different. They look similar, their arrangement looks a little bit similar, but very different, how you can get different effects from the different palettes, and how it might be a benefit for you to have both if you are a blush person and you're looking for some multi-use type of powders, okay? Alright, so now to the blush. Let me show you guys the Saharan Blush Volume 2. Alright, so this is a lighter, the lighter of the two Juvia's Place blush palettes. But if you are of a lighter skin tone, you may be able to, just dug my finger into it, you may be able to get away with using this as a bronzer. This is a nice, like terracotta shade. So it may be able to be used for a bronzer for somebody who is much lighter than me. So this may be good, like a blush bronzer type of palette for somebody who is of a lighter skin tone. Now onto the blush. I said before, the Sephora palette is really for those who like a nice glowy blush look. And yeah, these all perform very nicely on the cheeks, and I will do some swatches right now. Alright, so I don't think I have anything on my hand, so I'm gonna do this is the matte shade that I use as a bronzer. Alright, so I don't know if you can really see that, but that's what that looks like. Alright, then we're going to take the orange shade here. Look how pretty that is. And alright, so you can see how vibrant that is right there. I'll bring that down. There you can see it better, how vibrant that is. Alright. Then we've got this nice mauve shade there. I'm not the greatest at doing swatches on camera. Alright, so that's the white golden shade there. Alright, can you see that now? Yes, okay, there we go. Go ahead on, girl. Alright, so that's the golden highlight shade. That's the white highlight shade. Okay, and then this is that pinky shade. Okay. So the last three are the bottom three, and then the first three are the top three color. Volume for the Saharan Volume 2 palette. Let me go on and do the swatches for these. Taking Yara. These are so creamy. Look at how pigmented that is. Oh my gosh. First swatch. Oh my gosh. This is the very nice, rich, reddish blush shade called Neo. Okay, and that's what that one is looking like. Not trying to flip anyone off. Alright. Crap. Look at that. One swipe. And we've got Lila right here. Oh my gosh, these are so pigmented. And I'm used to doing like this when doing swatches, and you really don't need to. Okay. Wow. Okay, so you can see that Lila is a bit more coppery. Yeah. Lila's a bit more coppery. And then, what is this one? Soba? Zara. Zara is a bit more, like bronzy gold, okay? Alright, going in with Zane. This is that bright magenta shade here. Gosh. Guys, you can literally use these as eyeshadows if you wanted to. Oh my gosh. Juvia's place does not play. I'm so serious. Then the next shade is Toby. This is this nice bright yellowish orange shade. Doesn't come off as good on the finger. It looks a little bit patchy, but this applies nicely as well. So don't, even if you're a deeper skin tone, don't think that you can't use that shade just because it looks bright. Look, it's a nice matte orangey, like tangerine type of shade. Abby, A-B-Y, because I'm used to Abby being A-B-B-Y, so maybe it's A-B, I don't know. Alright, once again, ooh, so this looks like a nice rich brown, but it's more of like a rich burgundy brown shade that I used for my contour. Wow. Wow, guys. Look at this stuff. But this is what it's looking like, y'all. Okay. Oh my gosh. And then look, I'm wiping, and this, you can still see, look, bow, 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 bow. You can still see it. Alright, for the last palette for volume 2, I'm going to use my hand because it's still stained. My arm is. So the first shade is that we're going to go do together is towel. Switch to the other hand because my fingers are a bit stained. Alright, so here we go. Here is towel. Okay, here we go. Sola. Very nice. This is a nice luminous blush. Okay, so this is a shade that definitely, I mean, if it's your cup of tea, you can use it as a highlight, but that is a luminous blush for me. Alright, this is the shade Yara. And this is the one that I said could be used as a bronzer on a woman that might be lighter than me. Okay. Alright, but it does work as a nice blush on me as well, so there's that. Alright, the next shade is B. And this is a nice matte. I think this is a nice like muted mauve shade. Very pretty. Then we have Soba. This is a nice highlight shade. It actually is more of a duochrome because it's pinky golden. Show you that there. And here we go. Wow. Wow. How beautiful. The last one in this palette is Lena, and this is a nice matte, like bubblegum type pink. You can see that right, if I can do it right there. Okay, here we go. Alright. So, and here's all 6 swatches. Alright. You got your 6 swatches. You got a luminous blush in this one and a highlight, okay? Some of these, after I wipe them off, they're still there. That's still there. That's still there. So, good staying power with these. So like I said, so the volume 2, I just use this entire palette for blushes and the highlight. Okay, so none of this in this palette for me can double as a contour or a bronzer. Okay, so unlike these other 2 palettes, I've got a contour in one, I've got a bronzer in one, okay, in addition to the blushes. So just depending on your skin tone, you will see how whether or not you can use these for more than just, you know, the stated, you know, intention of being a blush. Okay, so I'm going to use a blush from the Saharan 2 palette on my left side, and then on my right side I'm going to use a blush from the volume 1 palette. Okay, and then you did see how the Sephora performed in the other video, but I will show you one side with one of the luminous blushes there, okay, as like a blush topper. And so I'm gonna go into okay, I put on a neutral look just so I can, you know, do whatever I want with the blush. Alright, so I'm gonna go in with, I think I'm gonna go in with Neo. Okay, Neo, that's the reddish shade, and that's the one that's still showing up on my arm, right? Is that this one? You can still see that. That's the hot pink one. Okay, all right, but I think I'm gonna go with this Neo. And so what I do with this brush here, this is the Goss brush that I mentioned before. I just go in once, okay, and you see how much pigment. Can you see? Yeah, you can see right there how much red pigment is on that brush. And then I just knock off the excess. Okay, and then you see that there's a lot less powder on there. And then apply it. Okay. And so then you get a nice little soft flush of color. Okay, and then you can build it up to your desired intensity. So I'm going to get a little bit more. Okay, once again, pat once, bow. You see how much is on the brush. Kick, 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 kick. All right. Hope I got enough off. Very nice. Okay. Very nice. If you don't have this type of brush, just look in your collection for something that has like a loose, where the bristles are nice and loose, okay, that you can just pick up a nice small amount of product. So let me show you another example. Right, so this brush is gargantuan, okay, but you can see how the bristles aren't like so tightly packed together at the top. Like you could do a little bit of a, little flush there. So let me see what I can do with this. This is a BH Cosmetics brush. Their brushes are very affordable. All right. So I'm patting this in, and you see it's hardly picking up a lot, okay? And then if you want to be sure, like I did before, knock off the excess. And then just strategically place it in the place where you want it to be, okay? And then also, this is an e.l.f. brush. I use it for bronzer, but you can see how loose this brush is as well. This is the e.l.f. 102 brush. So these are some options if you are looking for something, to apply some pigment a little bit less, in your face, okay? Okay, and so on my left side, we're going into the Saharan Volume 2, yes, Volume 2. I'm going with towel. Okay, so let me I'm going to use my Morphe E3. This is a little bit more packed together, but because these shades are a little bit lighter, I'm okay. So I just knocked off the excess for towel. And then so you can see that just provides a nice peachy, orangey type of blush look to the cheeks. Alright, so there we go. Which side do y'all like better? I think I need to blend that out a little bit more. I think I like the side with the volume 2 or volume 1 on it. Alright, so those are how the matte shades perform and how I like to apply them. And so now we're going to go into a luminous blush from the Sephora palette. So you can use these as blush toppers, like you've got a matte blush underneath and you just want to add a little bit more glow. But I do want to caution you, if you have a lot of texture on your cheek area, then some luminous blushes will cause those to be more pronounced. I'm going to go in with my BH 108 brush. This is a brush I like to use for blush. And I'm going into the Sephora palette and I'm going to use the luminous orange blush here. Okay, so just got a little bit there. And I'm going to take this over here. So these are going to give you a nice glow to your cheek. Alright, so you see how it's glowing? Look at that. Look, very nice. So then at this point you really don't need a highlight. You could go in with another highlight if you want, but you're pretty good on your highlight. And because we're back to this side, I'm going to go back in with my Wayne Goss brush and I'm going to go into this, the like more mauvey type of luminous blush. Get a little bit, knock this off, okay, and then just gently graze the face. And so this is just going to give, additional glow, like I said, to the cheeks, okay. Let me see. Okay. So I'm sufficiently glowing, but I do want to show you guys how well these highlights in these two palettes perform, okay? I'm going to go into the more coppery shade, and that is Zara, right? Wait, no, it's this one. This one is the more coppery shade, Lila. Alright, pat that in there to get it sufficiently coated, and then just lightly go on the cheek area. Okay. Get it? Very nice, okay? Alright, so on the left side, I'm going to go in with the shade Soba. Alright, and then we've got, here we go. And see, I was already glowing, so I don't know if you guys can really tell which is which, because my cheeks right here are already glowing, but I want to concentrate it up here so you guys can see. Come on. Come on, y'all. Seriously? Girl. I mean, okay, so my synopsis of all these. Because I know, let me spray my face. What am I going to use? I'm going to use my Limelight 10 Years Younger setting spray. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is so refreshing. If you guys don't do this, definitely try it. Okay? And so you want to blend anything out, any harsh lines. You see there's no more harsh lines now. Look, oh girl, it just looks seamless, okay? And then on the other side, oh, whoops. Seamless. So, enough of that. So, my synopsis for the three. I am happy that I have all three. I do not regret having all three. Like I told you guys, there's just different benefits in each one. This with the bronzer is really nice. I really enjoy this bronzer. I think the bronzer makes it worth it. And then you've got some good highlights in here. Once again, definitely check out the previous video so you can see the full-on like synopsis or my full-on analysis of this palette. Really good. Alright, so if you're looking for a bronzer and you like luminous blushes, you will not be sad that you picked up this palette. Okay, these, Juvia's Place, you can't, I don't think you can go wrong. I'm serious, I really don't. These are really good, really good. They're less expensive than the Spice Market palette from Sephora. The only thing is that you can only get it online, so you end up paying shipping, but then you have coupon codes out there that you can get like 10% off. Sometimes they're having sales and stuff. About these palettes, they are worth it. Okay, they are worth it. I like that you have all these matte blushes in here, so even if you are somebody who has texture on your face, if you are someone who has wrinkles and things like that, maybe you have older, you're a little bit more mature. I won't say older, you're a little bit more mature, so you don't want to have like a lot of glow on your face. So these are good because you've only got your two glowy shades in each palette. Okay, so these are really good. You guys saw the pigmentation in these palettes, and no matter your skin tone, I think you can work. Well, if you're a light skin tone, you're not gonna want volume 1 because it's just gonna be too rich. It's gonna be too much work for you to try to only get like a tiny fraction of product on your face. So if you're a lighter skin tone, definitely stick with the volume 1 or volume 2. If you're a deeper skin tone, you can get both of them because they show up so well on your skin. Okay, the pigmentation at Juvia's Place is just amazing. So these are great. These are great. All right, so if you're my skin tone, would I say you need both of them? You don't need both of them. I would say, oh gosh, it's so hard to choose. The reason I would say volume 1 is because of this shade that can double as a contour. So you're getting kind of like 2 uses out of, actually 3 uses. You got your highlights, the blush, and then you can use this as a contour. So if I had to choose, I'm not going to choose between the two. If you're only going to get one and you're my skin tone or deeper, get this one. If you're only going to, if you're a lighter skin tone, then stick with volume 2. So I will leave the decision up to you guys. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Which one did you like the most based on my review? Do you have any of these? Just let me know what you guys think about any, thing that I said in the video. Do you like luminous blushes? Are you more of a matte blush girl? Things like that. Have you tried any of the Juvia's Place products? Yeah, let me know, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I didn't ramble too much, I'm gonna sign off, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you all in my next video. See ya.